This is the first in a four-part presentation that we want to do on how to decide how to use the law and lawyers. And this first part is going to be what kind of lawyer to hire. And please remember that this lawyer is working for you. And if you're interested in the family, if you're interested in your children, you're interested in the relationships in your family, you're interested in maintaining control of this decision making so that you don't have to live in fear, you can be making your own decisions with your spouse or your co-parent, that is something that your attorney should respect. But you need to be careful because professionals sometimes have very different ideas about what to do. So here's some ideas about whatever process you choose to use, what kind of attorney do you want to be careful to have working for you and your family. The first thing that I would recommend is that you do the work on the Up to Parents website, or if yours is a paternity case, do the work on the Proud to Parent website, or if you're trying to keep your marriage together, this is just a separation perhaps, then you can use the While We Heal website. But do that work and take your commitments to the attorney. If both parents will do this work, you can even merge them and have a set of agreed commitments and take this to any attorney that you're thinking about using. Even if your co-parent has hired somebody who is a very aggressive, in the term that sometimes uses shark or a gladiator or a cowboy attorney, please remember these cases are not heard by juries. Judges have seen all this theatrics before, and overwhelmingly, in my opinion, overwhelmingly, the parents who come out best are the ones who hire attorneys who are restrained, who are responsible, who care about the kids, the future, the relationships, all the things that you care about. So take your agreements, or if your co-parent will do it, your agreed commitments together. Take that to any attorney you're thinking of hiring and say, can you support this kind of relationship between us? We want to have this kind of relationship that is based on the kids and the future, our chance to keep our legal costs down, our chance to make decisions together, our chance to be as healthy a family as we can, whatever form that it takes in the future. I would not hire any attorney who said, no, I'm sorry, I can't afford, I'm not going to help you to have this kind of healing divorce. Make sure that your attorney is on board and pledges to be on board for that kind of proceeding. Second, consider something called unbundling. That is to limit the number of things and the kind of things that your attorney is going to be involved in. Do you really need to have your attorney involved in attacking your co-parent? No. Do you really need to have your attorney involved in sending nasty correspondence? No. Do you need your attorney to be involved in taking to court? No. Take a look at what we have offered as model sorts of agreements with an attorney that limit what the attorney is to do. You may need information on things, for example, on what the law is in your jurisdiction about the division of property. You may want to be more generous than that with your co-parent, but you're entitled to know what the law is. In our jurisdiction, for example, there's basically a presumption of a 50-50 division of property and of debt. But so you can use that as one point of information. That's something that your attorney can supply to you. Your attorney can give you the necessary forms. Your attorney can tell you, can be of assistance to you in more complicated transactions like dividing retirement accounts and what are called quadro assignments, if you wish. But there are a whole bunch of things that you probably don't want your attorney to be involved in, attacking, demeaning, disparaging kind of work. Take a look at what we suggest for a list of things in your retaining of an attorney, of what that attorney will be doing and what things that attorney definitely will not be retained to do. And the third and final thing that I hope you would look for in talking to an attorney is somebody who would be at home with the basic ideas of the things that will be helpful to you. And we list some ideas here. For example, is your attorney talking to you and open to topics like, are you interested in saving your marriage? Would you be interested in slowing down to see if you can preserve it? And if so, what are the steps that you could take to basically, bring a period of peace in the family? I think an attorney who is not interested in those kind of things is giving you a hint that he or she probably is not necessarily interested in some of the higher values in your life. Even if you aren't interested in saving the marriage, I think it's telling if one way or the other about whether the attorney is interested in asking about those things. Is the attorney emphasizing that most of the progress that will be made in your life will be up to you? That is your ability to get whatever counseling you need, to focus on your children, to focus on having the most courteous, cooperative, safe relationship that you can with your co-parent for the sake of your children and yourselves. Is your attorney making you aware that one of his responsibilities or hers as well as yours is to keep the fees down, keep the amount of fees down? In other words, if we're giving our attorneys hours and hours of work to do on things that are really parent responsibilities, like communication between you, improvement in the way that you're relating with each other for the sake of the kids. If the attorneys are taking responsibility for that, it's probably not going to be helping anybody. If your attorney is someone who asks about the interests of your co-parent, that's probably a good sign. In other words, that encourages you to realize that the only way really to get a good result in a divorce is to work also for a good result for everybody, including your co-parent. If your attorney shows no interest in that, I would be very, very careful. If your attorney is somebody who emphasizes that you and your co-parent are going to win together or you're going to lose together, if you can keep all the emotional, family, and financial costs of this as low as possible, if you can bring as much healing as possible to the relationships, that is probably somebody you want to put your confidence in. Attorneys who warn you about the dangers of recruiting people to your side or poisoning relationships with grandparents and so forth, those are excellent attorneys to think about. So acquaint yourself with the ideas on the website and see if your attorney feels at home with those. That, regardless of the particular process you use, whether you're using just one attorney for the two of you, whether maybe you're just only one of you will have an attorney and the other will be proceeding, without an attorney. Whatever particular process you use, you're going to be better off if you have an attorney who is at home with these kinds of ideas.